Hey, Tim Holstad, singer-songwriter. Thanks for stopping. So this is a little later than usual. Normally I'd have gotten this out Sunday, and it is Wednesday as I'm talking to you. And if I were going to explain why, I'd have to tell you what happened on my July 4th weekend. So I think I'm going to do that. It's an interesting story, but anyway, without further ado, so we all know that July 4th fell on a Saturday this year, and so if you got a break, hopefully you got Friday the 3rd off, so you got that extra holiday off, and that was the case for me, so I had it off, and like I say, it's been a tough year. If you've been following along, you know it's been a tough year, and just trying to work with a bunch of things, and I'm sort of hanging, waiting for a lot of things. So it was like, all right, I need a break. So I'm going to go. There is this lake that's about 40 miles southwest of here, and it used to be one of these where Native American trails went all the way around it. And they've since kept those trails, so you can walk all the way around this lake if you want to, just right along the shore, even though it's pretty much all privately owned. They've still got these public trails because the Native American trails were there. And so you can go and you can walk this. And I've been here, like I've said, for 15 years now, and a lot of tough times, and I couldn't do very much. And when I had the gas, I would go and I'd drive here and I'd take this walk. And so anyway, this time I decided Friday I'm going to do it again. I need to get out of here. I've done this walk over 50 times in my life. It really probably shouldn't be any big deal. Yeah, it's going to be hot, so I'll just make sure I've got lots of electrolyte drinks, and I leave early. So I start early and finish early before it gets really hot. And I figured everything would be fine. So, famous last words, right? Anyhow, I headed out. I started the walk about 5:20 a.m. and this walk is 26 miles, okay, guys? It's a long ways. And it would take me 8 hours to do it, even under the best of circumstances, but it forced me to get my mind off of things, and it was someplace else that I wasn't normally peaceful and quiet, so I headed out. And I got to the far end of the lake without issue, except that I'm getting tired. More so than usual, and I wasn't thinking too much of it. It's starting to get pretty warm, but, I've been hydrating like I should be. Haven't been trying to set any crazy pace. Just wanted to, again, just take a break, take it easy. Brought my music, just listening, and just taking it light. So I had to sit for a while here in this town on the far west end of the lake, and then I started going again, and I'm walking clockwise around this lake, and it's not too far where there's this big bay, and then, it's after that, it's pretty much straight all the way through, although there is a place where it narrows, and there's a really big hill, and then you get down to that, and back to the town I was at, where I parked, and then you're done. So anyway, I get to this town at the end of the bay, and I'm just really, really starting to feel tired, and I'm actually hurting. And that's unusual, thinking maybe the heat got to me, and okay, no big deal. There's where I'm sitting, there's a restaurant right across the street. I can go eat something, get some strength, get some energy, and it should be fine. Well, I couldn't find my wallet. Strangest thing, I could not find it. So, all right, I guess the restaurant's out, and just one of those things. So I'm sitting in the sun, though, so I've got to move. So I walked a bit further down where there's a tourist center, and I sat there in the shade, and I have a guy asking me, "Are you all right?" And I'm just thinking, yeah, I'm okay. The heat got me. I'm just going to rest for a little bit, and then we'll keep going. And he's like, okay, fine, just don't overdo it. And so I noticed these really, 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 really dark clouds coming over the trees, but I'm not thinking anything of it really because it's by now it's really hot. It's got to be like 1 in the afternoon kind of thing, maybe. It's pretty close to that. So I got to get going. I went to the bathroom, and all of a sudden you hear this, rain coming down in sheets, and people are running in and opening the door. I finished my business. I'm waiting to go out, and this rain is just sideways going in sheets. It's just, I guess it was straight winds. It was really bad. There was a boat that got flipped over in the water, and some people died, sadly. And just kind of watching this, and it's just coming down and coming down, and finally it's not sideways anymore. It's just down, and then it lightens up and eventually quits. But now it's about 15 degrees cooler. I still can't find my wallet. So basically the only thing I can do at this point is just walk the rest of the way, get to my vehicle, and go home. And now it's cool. I've rested a while. I should be fine. And it's realistic, If it's the heat, I can still make it. So I kept going. I had somebody else, as I'm just about at the end of the bay and straightening out the rest of the way, asking me, "Are you all right?" And I said, honestly, because I was at the time, "I'm hanging in. It'll be all right." And I kept going. So it's starting to get hotter again. I made that hill at the narrow part of the lake that's just really, really tall, and got up it and got back down, and then reached a place where there's a boat launch, a boat access road, and there was a bench. I could sit there for a bit. I'm starting to hurt now. I have no idea what's going on. I've been hydrating and everything, but still, what I don't want to get too descriptive here, but when you go to the bathroom, if you're dehydrated, it's pretty dark what's coming out. Yeah, anyway, it was like that, and I'm starting to hurt. My intestines are starting to really bother me somehow. That's where it feels like it's hurting anyway. So I sat there for a while, drank some more, and I got up and I kept walking. And it just kept getting worse. I was a few houses basically away from the end of the walk and getting to my vehicle. There's a park, and I'll use the bathroom again, and there are these two ladies with the stroller, and they're saying, "Go past us, we're slow." I said, "Yeah, okay, thanks, it's not far now." And I kept walking. I make it to the bathroom. Maybe I'm peeing blood at this point. It just was pretty bad. I'm just really in agony too. But there's just a few more steps to get to the vehicle, so I got there. I got sat down. I'm still just, it's not getting any better. Trying to get out of town, it's traffic, it's construction. I'm just crawling along. It's just getting worse and worse. There's no way I'm going to make it home. So I'm thinking, I'm pretty sure I saw a clinic coming in, and I didn't see it going out. And so I've just got to keep going, although I'm really having trouble, It's hard even to drive now. So I'm figuring I'll go to the next town, and, that's going to have to be enough. Maybe I can find a place there. But remember, there were all these storms and everything. So the road I'm going, which I would take either to get to the interstate to go home or to this next town, it's blocked off by a police officer. He's in an unmarked vehicle, but he's got the lights going. And I had my flashers going. I'm just crawling along. I'm not really safe to drive, and starting a convoy behind me, sadly, but this guy is going to have a radio. He can get help. So I'm pulling up to him, and he's giving me the whole, go some other way. And I pulled up next to him, and I stopped, and I couldn't get out of the vehicle. I'm beyond that now. I'm just in agony. And so he gets out, and he sees obviously something's wrong, calls an ambulance, and they get there, and I couldn't move. They had to just bear hug me and lift me out and take me into the nearest town they could get to, which is quite a ways because there's all these trees down and all these power lines down from these straight winds. And anyway, they get me to the hospital, and I'm trying to explain what happened and saying, I don't have my wallet. I don't know how I'm going to get back to the vehicle. And the nurse I'm talking to is like, well, that's funny because your ID's here. And I was kind of struck by that, but apparently the paramedics found the wallet somewhere, stuck the ID with me so that I could be admitted to this place. And it was just the strangest thing. I never will know where that wallet was because I never did find it in my satchel or anything. Maybe it was in the vehicle somewhere. I don't know. We'll get back to that in a minute. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, they don't know what's wrong with me, so they're doing all kinds of tests, and they found a whole bunch of stuff. The biggest thing that drove me in was a urinary tract infection, so I'm on these real strong antibiotics now. They ended up admitting me. I spent much of the day, July 4th, in the hospital, and they decide, looking at all these things, well, there's nothing we can fix now. It's nothing life-threatening, but, I've had kidney stones before, for example. I've got another one that won't pass. We'll have to have somebody, admit me at some point and laser that sucker, and I've done it before. No picnic. Anyhow, they see all these things that are going on, and it's like, all this can wait. We're going to let you out. So it's like, well, maybe that rideshare thing you were talking about can get me back to where the vehicle is, and I hope they haven't towed it. And they said, well, it's holiday. There's nobody here. So they ended up calling the police station and begged them to take me back, but they said they were slammed, so they couldn't do it. So I was able to get a hold of my daughter, who came and got me, and she kind of made a big deal of this, got a plant and got me some other clothes because what I had was really, soaked and sweaty and everything. But, she drove me back, and so we get to where we found the vehicle. It's still there. And we found out, because I'm calling the hospital where these prescriptions I have to take now, the antibiotic, got to get on it right away, are going to be, and find it's open all day. Don't have to rush. So that was a relief, and I just thanked my daughter, and she's, this kind of shook her up. And she relaxed once we knew I could go and get the antibiotics. So she went back to another family get-together that she had going on, and I went back into the city and got my prescriptions and went home. And there's people lighting fireworks off and everything. I just crashed. I slept through it all. So I hope whatever fireworks you got a chance to see were just wonderful. I didn't see anything. I was just out. So it's been a couple of recuperating days. I was able to go back to work Monday and just kind of really slow. I'm not hurting so much now, but you got to keep going. I remember, I got home Monday. I was still really hurting. But there's the Zoom salon. It's the first Monday of the month. I got to do that. And so it wasn't my best show, the 6 songs that I did, but that was part of it. And so I did that. And there were a couple people that came, which was great. So, maybe this is growing a little bit finally after all this time. But, and they said, yeah, because I told them the story. We wouldn't have been able to tell the difference, so maybe they were just being kind. But got the Zoom salon done, still plugging. I got the word today about the house that it's almost there. The title people asked for one more thing that the closing coordinator sent them, and we will see. But you got to keep going. I played the hand I was dealt. When we got back to the vehicle, I looked in the satchel again, and that's where the wallet was. I looked all over every pouch in that thing, every compartment when I'm out there walking, and I never did find it. So I don't know. Maybe I'd left it on the floor of the vehicle somehow, or maybe I just was delirious and overlooked it. I don't know. I never will. But you got to keep trying. You got to keep taking steps. You got to do what you can. And if plan A doesn't work, what about plan B? You got to keep taking steps, right? And eventually I made it to where I got help. Eventually I got home. This was totally different from what I planned. I mean, the last few days too have been setting up doctor's appointments and things. I've got to follow up for stuff. But I made it. There are still some good things happening, and life is going to have its setbacks, obviously, right? But we got to keep going anyway. That's our only chance. You've got a choice at any point in your life. Okay, you've got a choice. You can either give up, which is easier, admittedly, but it's not really an option. But you can also choose to keep going. And that's your only chance. I've been in real bad scrapes. I've talked about the Austin trip in prior posts, but needless to say, you gotta keep taking steps. You gotta keep trying. That's when you sort of activate the universe, if you will, to send to you what you need so you can get through whatever it is you're going through. So that's basically all I have today for you. I'm going to wrap this up now. I will leave the free song plus story link in the description. If you do want the Zoom link, I will leave the email as well so that you can send it there if you want. But the free song plus story link is what is another way that you can get in touch with me, and maybe you can be a part of this too. I'm still working on that third album. It will happen with all this house moving stuff and now the health stuff. I mean, there have been a lot of setbacks this year. Obviously, Mom passing, that started it all, but again, what are you going to do? You can give up or you can keep going. What's it going to be? There's the saying, if it is to be, it's up to me. And if you want, you can even go to the mirror and tell that person that. But this will do it for me. We'll see you in the next one. Whatever you do, never give up on your dream. It's too important. Keep going somehow, some way. Take care. Talk soon.